Are you ready to run your short-term rental business like a superhost? If so, look no further than Guesty for Hosts. Guesty for Hosts offers listing management for all three major OTAs, Airbnb, Booking.com, and VRBO. With Guesty for Hosts, you can create a branded direct booking website in minutes. I've been able to hit 61% direct bookings in my business and automate daily tasks such as communication with cleaners and communication with guests. Click the link in the show notes to get an additional $20 off your first month.
Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Micah and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What's up, Micah, man?
I am good. Good to be in 2022. How you doing?
Oh, good as well. 2022 is here, whether we like it or not. And this is episode 190 of your favorite Airbnb, VRBO, Turo, Lyft, hire car, all that share economy stuff in the world. Your favorite podcast. And we have a special guest, Micah.
Who we got?
She's a repeat guest, but you wouldn't know that because it didn't record last time. Her name is Kierra Castleberry. Who's Kierra Castleberry? Kierra is a short-term rental coach and superhost, as well as a car rental host based out of Houston, Texas, H-Town. Her mission is to help new entrepreneurs start their Airbnb businesses the right way through rental arbitrage to help them reach financial freedom and get one step closer to generational wealth. Welcome, Kierra.
Hey, thank you. That was so nice. Y'all wrote that?
You did on an email a long time ago.
Oh, like, wow, that was no, that was amazing. The intro. But no, thank you so much. I love the podcast. I love being here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on again.
Fourth time around.
No,
Yeah, here it's 2022. So you're still in the Airbnb and the Turo game. So how are you liking matter of fact, because you're in Houston, I want to ask this question. How are you liking the STR market in Houston right now?
okay. Well, I still like it. It's just that it's never gonna be the market I started in, because I started in Virginia. And it was a military town. So we were doing numbers on the numbers we're doing now. But like, honestly, I would say we're still doing really well though. Like we average about the same amount every month and we're still profiting really well. And also we make the rents and stuff. So it's still good. It's still, we use our little strategies here and there and they work.
Okay. So and you're even profiting during Houston's down season that everyone's been
off about. Okay. It is a down season, but it's not at the same time.
Oh, go into that.
Like, okay, what I realized is it just really depends on who you're targeting, because a lot of people I'm noticing when they furnish, they're so excited to furnish. So they go all out when they furnish, right? And then all of a sudden people don't want to stay because it's just too much going on. And then they spend so much furnishing and then they're not able to make that money back. But for us, I think it starts with like your research and your furnishing. So we chose the right zip codes. And then also like we furnish very simply, but it's so attractive that people who travel year round still want to stay there. It's not like too overly decorated.
Okay. So you keeping your startup costs low, it sounds like.
Yeah, that, and then just making sure, I feel like the startup cost doesn't even matter if you choose the right zip code. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So what kind of units do you have? How many do you got too?
We have 9. Yeah, we have 9 1 bed, 1 baths. And we also have a house that we're renovating right now. And I'm so excited about that. But they're all like dispersed throughout like popular areas in Houston.
So, okay, so you're doing the 1 bed, 1 bath. Have those been easier to get? It sounds like those are easier to get booked because I have trouble with my 2 bed, 2 bath in Houston because the type of clientele don't want to stay in those. But like in Dallas, the 2 bed, 2 bath, they hit. Yeah. Like what is your clientele like on the 1 bed, 1 bath?
It varies. I would say mostly we get some repeat type of customers, such as, okay, let me say this. In our zip codes that we chose, we noticed that because they're a high, like the people in those zip codes make a lot of money, right? So for example, if there's a flood or if there's something going on or a fire, they're going to want to stay near their house. They're not going to want to travel, to the city over. They want to stay by their friends and stuff like that. So we stay in those zip codes. So our clientele is more like people who live in the zip code. So they're okay with paying the rent because their insurance is already giving them the money to pay for their stays. And then also we get business travelers, people traveling to see family. But again, in those areas, it's like a lot of wealth. So you have people's, I don't want to say rich kids, but kids who are doing well in life. Well, they're not kids anymore, but like adults coming to stay at your units to see their family. They just don't want to stay at their house or their childhood home.
I noticed that a lot lately with because we were growing up. When we go visit family, we're gonna sleep on some floor or some sofa, maybe a love seat, whatever. Now families are traveling and they don't want to stay with that family. They want their own spot. So
They sure do. I'm the same way. I will go pay for a hotel before I get someone's floor.
You know, in the zip code thing, I think you're really on to something with that. Because even if you like, I work with a lot of like travelers, Haven and all them. Every time you look at Dallas and Houston, they all want to, like Houston especially, they want to be in that downtown loop area. And like these people are paying like $5,000. I don't know why they want to be in that little area. That's the area they want to be in. And like in Dallas, they want to pay $5,000 a month, but they want to be in like the little anything by Baylor Hospital. I'm happy. That's really smart that you actually just went and researched, hey, this zip code makes this much and this is what happens. Are you using like AirDNA to get that information?
1,000%. Because the thing is, off of what you said too with the Dallas thing, it's so crazy because when we first started Airbnb in Norfolk, I did the exact same thing. I don't know how I came up with it. I know why. I was so scared about losing money and like Airbnb not working. So that's how I found AirDNA. And I was like, okay, I get to see the zip codes. Let me go through every zip code and see how much I can make. But the thing is, each time I do it, I'm always surprised by the zip codes. Like, this zip code, what? Even in Houston, like the zip codes that we're in, you would never be able to tell me those were the highest earning zip codes in Houston ever. I was shook.
Yeah, see, I'm in the oversaturated zip code. I gotta.
Yeah. The thing is, that's another thing. No one's shooting for these zip codes, like the high earning zip codes, and those high earning zip codes are usually the ones with like single family homes and a couple of multi-families here and there.
You know, and I think that's my strategy for 2022 is more or less shifted out of the apartments and just going either have the complex, we own it ourselves, or shift into the single families, because that's where it seems to be in Houston.
It is. And I feel like that's not going to change. Now, the thing too is, I don't know if y'all talk to Noble, but Noble also has like the government contracts and, and so we haven't gotten into it, but I really want to get into it because I know having like a single family home and like a bunch of units that's together in the same area near like, big corporations, it would be just fine.
Yeah, I haven't hopped into the government contracts either. Everybody's been talking about it. I definitely, that is on my to-do list for 2022 is get into that. And then keep on going with the single family homes for sure. So you're doing the Airbnb, the Turo. What are your 2022 goals? What are you trying to get accomplished this year?
So my biggest goal is to complete this house that we're doing. We're a little over budget right now, but it's going to be so worth it. Like the thing is, we're over budget though, because we want to make sure we're not going basic on this house that we're doing. Like we want to make sure it stands out. But another thing we're doing is we're making sure that for every single thing we do, like we're thinking about if we wanted to sell the home in the future. So we're thinking about selling the home in the future, plus putting it on Airbnb. If that makes sense. But that's my biggest goal, is to finish that house. It's a lot.
So is that, you said, I believe, is that a BRRRR property?
Yep.
Okay. So now with you, that's a good question. So you're saying right now you're over budget, and this is the power of BRRRR, so I love it. So right now, with you being over budget, are you over budget on your rehab?
Yeah. Would you say we're over budget on the rehab? We're over budget on the rehab. The thing is, I guess we thought it was gonna cost less to do this project, but it's costing a lot more than we thought. And I think it's partly because everything is going up in price. Yeah. Well, also, so basically we didn't know what we were doing when we first started the project. Not that we didn't know what we were doing, but we haven't done a project like this before, like a full gut. So we also hired a a construction company to like complete it. So our contractor, they are they're charging us a lot. It's like they're upcharging us, if that makes sense.
You got
On,
a
like,
general contractor.
yeah,
You got
yeah,
a GC. Okay.
yeah.
So
But we needed it. So
exactly. Because I mean, if you get a GC, you're going to pay more, but
Yeah.
it's going to come out looking better. So even at the end of the deal, even if you're over budget, you possibly can flip the place and get all your money back and more.
No, literally. And then also like, well, my husband, he's kind of giving me the answers too, but we're not using builder grades material. Because we said, yeah. Oh, I know what that means. So yeah, we're kind of going a little, like we're going a step up. We don't want to be a basic Airbnb when we finish this project.
That's what's up. So y'all planning on, so at the end, even with y'all being a little bit over budget and the market is going crazy right now, because my mentor talks about this, people are getting saved by the real estate gods.
Right.
Yeah. The market's so crazy. Are you guys still looking, are you guys still going to be able to pull out all your money? And is that appraisal still going to come back?
It will, because we bought it at a really good price. We got lucky. Well, did we get lucky? Okay, yeah, we got lucky. So this property we found was actually in an estate sale. And yeah, so the neighborhood we're in is kind of like a family-owned neighborhood. It's really hard to get any kind of real estate in that neighborhood. And it's right by the top earning zip code, which is our favorite zip code. And it's coming up. It's slowly developing. Actually,
what zip code is that real quick? What zip code is that?
The one technically it's 77007 for like the high earning zip code.
That's what I got. That's where mine is. My Houston property is. Yeah, my townhouse. I was gonna ask you. It's off 90 in Durham. I don't know if you know where that is.
90 in Durham.
Yeah, in Katy.
I know where Durham.
Highway.
Oh.
Yeah, it's close to downtown. We can see downtown from the patio.
Wait, 90 comes through downtown. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was just looking on the map. I don't know Houston too good, but I was
okay.
Yeah.
Just wrote that zip code down. Thanks, y'all.
Right by a Cadillac bar. So I don't know what else.
Is it 290 or 90?
It says 90 on here, which is Katy Freeway or something, like Katy Freeway.
Okay, I-10 in Durham, yeah.
Now I have a question. So y'all in Katy?
No, so we're Katy Freeway is just I-10, the interstate.
Facts. Okay.
Yeah, that's just what they call it, but it goes through the entire city of Houston.
Okay, and you're going now. Is that more is that more inner city or a little bit outside of it?
Inner. Super inner. You're like 5 minutes from downtown. 5 to 10.
Yeah. We went high in there too, so
really good. And y'all are doing a house out there.
Well, we're doing a house at the zip code over 77009.
Mm-hmm.
But it's coming up. It's considered north side, but it's not at the same time. If you keep driving though, it's north side, which is not what we want to touch, but we got the perfect spot. We've seen our competitors. We're good. We're good.
Blow them away, huh?
Mike is like, let me write this.
Oh yeah, I'm writing down. Right. So like, what's the on something like that in that zip code? And you're saying, what's like the ARV on those property on the property like you're rehabbing right now? What's like the after repair value on something like that?
So it's so crazy because the houses in the area are selling for like low 400s, some of them reaching 500. Yeah, and we bought it for like 239, and we're not. Yeah. So the area, when I say it's coming up, if the real estate market continues just rising in 3 years, it can be worth like so much more if we want to cash out, but we're gonna hold it because Airbnb makes more money in this scenario.
X.
So, yeah.
Now, and are you seeing like that over? Because I know some of the apartments are oversaturated. Are you seeing like that? Well, hold on, you haven't started yet. Do you have any homes out there that you're doing?
We had a townhome, and it was in 77007. It was a 2-bed, 1-bath, but and we made a lot on that one. I think in like the first 14 days, we made like $6,000.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
What's the secret? What's your secret to getting that much on that townhouse?
Well, there's a couple of things. So the first thing is, I think Superhost definitely helped, but also the furnishing, because you have to furnish for a specific crowd. You can't, it's like I know exactly who I want and I know exactly what they would like, and I know that they won't be partying, they're just there to sleep, and they freaking love it. And Price Labs help. It has helped us so much.
I love Price Labs.
I love it.
All right, can I? My turn to ask some
Go ahead.
questions. Okay, so not only are you a successful host, you're a successful coach. And how did you get into coaching, and what makes a good coach?
What makes a good coach? Okay, so let me answer how I got into it. So to be honest, my husband. So okay, back it up a little bit. I'm gonna make it quick. When my husband went to the military, I was like a freshman in college, right? So the agreement was that he would go to the military and then I would go to school so that when he got out the military, he could go to school and then I'd have a degree and I could work with my accounting degree, right? So when he was nearing the end of his contract, like I had already graduated and I was a year out almost, and I realized I didn't want to be an accountant anymore. Like I did not like it. I tried it like 2 or 3 extra times. It wasn't clicking with me. So I was like, okay, well, I have to like figure this out. But the thing is, we had already done Airbnb before, me realizing I didn't want to do accounting anymore. So after we did our first Airbnb, at the same time, I was doing my accounting internship and I was making more money on this one unit than I was in my internship. And there's a joke in accounting that interns make more than the full-time employees because we get like overtime and stuff. So long story short, I was like, okay, well, I know a lot of stuff about Airbnb and I want to help a lot of people. Like, I feel like I learned some stuff that it just like came to me. Like no one taught me. It's just stuff that I just knew. And I was like, let me just teach some people. So I got a coach to help me just package my knowledge and help me like organize my thoughts. And I knew nothing about social media. And she like really just helped me grow the business to where it is today. And what makes a successful coach? Is that the question? What makes
What makes a successful coach?
Is there a successful coach? Our coach is successful.
Our coach is successful.
Yeah, because is it money?
Jimmy Johnson, coach.
Because the way I see it is like, it just depends on who your students are, because I wouldn't want to, I don't know, what makes a successful coach? I had to think about that.
I'm gonna throw something at you and then tell me if this is your personality.
Okay.
Do you know how to pour into any type of personality?
I try. I
think that's what it is. Like to me, the greatest coach to me of all time has always been Phil Jackson, only because he can take anybody and make them fit into this. Like he's the only dude that could calm down Dennis Rodman. Like he's the only dude. Like he like his documentary. I was like, this dude's a damn genius. Like he wasn't like the coach to say, hey, Dennis, don't go out kicking it. Hey, go out and kick it. He'll just send like Tony Kukoc with him, who's boring. Hey, go watch Dennis tonight. He knows how to pour into certain people. I think that's what makes a successful coach. And if that's your personality, you have nothing but success.
That is true. I guess I wouldn't consider myself a successful coach because I feel like I have so much more to learn. I'm so compared to my friends, I'm in my like mid-20s and they're like late 30s. And so I feel like I just still have so much to learn. They teach me every day, but I wouldn't call myself successful unless I was like on the front of a Forbes magazine, to be honest with you.
Damn, that's how you measure success.
Yeah, that's for me.
That's a high bar right there.
Yeah.
Really?
So once we get there, then we can call. Yeah, I can. But if I'm not there, I think I'm still just a person that's learning and helping other people, mentoring them.
Wow, that's big time. Big goals.
Real. Now on the Turo side down there, how's that working out for you?
It's good. So our car is still paying off our Tesla note, so we don't have to pay that. Never have to touch it. Thank God. At all.
Hold on, let's go into that because that has me thinking. So you have one car that you rent out on Turo, so it can pay for itself and a luxury car that you want, like a Tesla.
It's already paid off. It's already paid off because here's the thing, right? We had other cars on Turo, but we realized Houston, I know people be like, oh, there's no such thing as oversaturation. Houston was oversaturated at one point. We sold the cars for a profit, thank God. But for our car, it was our car that we already had. My husband got it while he was in the military, and I think we paid it off before he got out. And so we got lucky. And it was to the point where our little car, while we was like furnishing Airbnbs and doing stuff, the little car just wasn't cutting it. It's like a 2014 Kia. And we needed a bigger car. So luckily the Tesla, it's huge, the Tesla Model Y, but also it's your business card. And I know people say that all the time, but we have legit made connections that we wouldn't have made otherwise because of the car we drive. It sucks, but I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for it.
Really?
That
How
is
so? Dive into that a little.
Yeah. So for example, whenever we would go look at properties in Arkia, we noticed realtors treated us a little different. But when they saw the Tesla, they wanted to talk to us a little more, even the Audi, because we had an Audi. So whenever we had to do anything relating to business, we tried to drive the cars because we noticed people treated us differently. Even when we were driving, when I'm driving that Kia, people are so mean to me. They're so mean. With the Tesla, people let you over, like. But long story short, like we've just made connections that we wouldn't have been able to make otherwise. One guy at our parking garage, because we just moved to the middle of the city, in our parking garage, he like, you know, we had a whole conversation with him just because of our car, and he has some great connections. And yeah, I don't know.
It makes you look the part.
Yeah, it does. And I be looking crazy. I be dressed in sweatpants and stuff, but you know,
I might have to
crazy.
get me a Tesla and test that out.
No, I'm telling
it
you.
is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
people, I think Ty Lopez talks about it all the time. You know, if you carry yourself a certain way, have certain things, people do treat you different.
They
It's
treat you
sad,
different.
true, yeah.
No, it's so sad. And it like makes me so mad because I know there's so many people who have so much knowledge and are so smart, but they're treated so poorly because of what they have. It just makes me so mad. But
So is it a business expense, your Tesla?
it is 1000%.
A whole write-off, a car?
Whole thing. Well, technically, it doesn't reach the 6,000 pound limit
Yeah.
or whatever, but we still like write it off because we really only drive it for business. We don't want to drive for personal. We're always at the properties, always.
Right. So I can give me a Rolex and say it's for business.
You can't marketing expense.
Boo.
Talk to your CPA.
I didn't talk to your CPA.
Can I tell you my CPA is amazing? I used to actually work for her.
Yeah, drop her name. What's her name?
Your tax coach at your tax coach on Instagram. Your tax coach, her name is Barbara. When I tell you she knows what the heck she's doing, she went back to school to help businesses, like small businesses, well, big businesses too, with accounting. And she actually used to work for, I want to say she worked for big four accounting firms too. So she has experience, and she's, I got goosebumps because she's so amazing.
Wow.
So in this year, with you have, so you looks like you already have a bird property, so you are buying. Are you picking up any more arbitrages this year?
Nope.
Oh, you're calling it quits on arbitrages.
Oh my gosh. So
What?
So the thing is, like, it was great to get us to where we are because it was a start. Turo's income was able to kind of supplement like basically we were able to show our landlords that we were making money from our 4 Turo cars. Then from Airbnb arbitrage, we were able to show our hard money lender that we're making X amount of money per month. And now it's all a tool. So I was using other people's monies, aka other people's properties, to get a property. Now we have a hard money loan, and once we refi out, look, we're repeating this over and over and over again with the ownership model.
Please repeat that. Everybody that's doing arbitrage, that is how you do it. She started with the end game in mind.
Yep.
That is how you do it. That's people get stuck in this cycle of arbitrage. You were arbitrage, buy. That's the game.
But I mean, not to say arbitrage is bad because you know, I'm sure we'll always have a mix of like arbitrage and ownership and maybe co-hosting. But looking at it, man, can I be honest with y'all? We pay like $13,000 or $14,000 a month in rent, and we're like, that could literally be our like equity.
That is true.
And guess what? Is mostly the same owner, so he keeps buying properties.
And that's a good thing, though. Hold on, so you're mainly working with one owner, and he's basically buying properties. Hey, Kierra,
hey, you want this one? Yeah. So they basically, his property manager, she's so amazing. Like she's like family to us now. Every time there's a new property, even if they're renovating it, hey, do y'all want to come by and see it before we put it on the market? Sure thing. So that's how we were able to scale up. And that's how I told my clients to scale up too. I told them start with a small apartment complex or, you know, a smaller property management company, because I don't know why, but it just happens. But once you have 1 or 2, every time a new unit's coming up, they're just going to call you and be like, hey, there's a new one coming up. You want it? Before they put it in the market, because they don't have the time to put it on the market. That's more work for them. They'd rather have one tenant. Our property manager, she has told us that she'd rather have one good tenant with a bunch of units than 9 different tenants.
So that's a good in right there. You said, okay, repeat that. Start with a small property manager. How say it again?
Yeah, so basically like working with small property managers and stuff like that, they just rather give you the units. If they see that you've been paying the rents for 3 or 4 months and you want more arbitrage units, every time a unit's coming up on the market, they're just gonna be like, hey, you want it? Like, here, do you want it? Like, here, we'll send you the lease real quick. We don't verify income no more. We know you're making the money.
That's genius. That's genius.
You only
And
have to do it one time.
and okay, here's, and I've tried to get in with a couple of them. And here's one thing I'm running into, because a lot of these you know, property managers are older ladies, you know, no big deal. And so first of all, a lot of them don't know what I'm really talking about at first, and then they don't really relay the information well to their clients. So how do you help those two pain points?
It depends on what their problems are. Like, what are they telling you? Like, are they telling you like that they're just not interested, or?
Well, some of them will say, "Oh, well, that sounds like a fun idea," you know, they're like, "Sounds like interesting. Let me run it past my client." And then I don't know how they explain it to their client. Hey, someone wants to rent your house and then rent it out to other people. I don't know how to relay the information. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They can barely understand it themselves. And they, oh, I think I got it. And then, oh, my client says no, they don't want to do that. They just want to rent a family. I don't know, whatever it is. And I'm like, how did you tell them? You know,
I have something for you. So
okay, yes.
What we've noticed is actually, even for my clients, what we notice is that landlords and owners who are investors are more likely to say yes to your business model, because for some reason, the mom and pops, like landlords and stuff, like when it's like truly, if they have just like one property, they're going to probably tell you no, versus someone who has multiple investment properties. They understand business. They understand if the numbers work, the numbers work. So we, like, I don't know. I always try to make sure, like, you know, if this is a property management company and you have a client, does this client have multiple properties with you, or is this like their only one?
Right.
That's usually what they care, because if not, let me be real. Investors, they only care about the numbers. No one gets into real estate and buys properties because they actually want to help people. No, they want it because of the money. Let's be real. So they understand, like, it's really just money. Just pay your rent, show me you make money, and I'll give you the lease. That's it.
One other thing, we're gonna end up turning this into a mastermind. You should don't let the middleman close the deal. You should then be like, hey, let me get on the phone. Hey, when's the time that we can all get on a phone call together or meet for lunch or something like that, so everybody's in the room? Because they will misinterpret something real quick. And that one thing that's misinterpreted, bro, it can take a deal all the way down the drain.
Actually, can I be honest with y'all? I told my clients as a joke, but I was also being serious. I was like, look, rent out a Tesla for like 2-3 days and go do a bunch of property tours versus and take 3 more days and use your regular car. I promise you. Well, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Most of them got yeses, or they got responses and wanted to talk more because of the Tesla they had or the nice car they rented for a couple of days. Again, when you roll up in a certain car, people are going to see you differently. I don't know what it is. They'll see you differently. They'll treat you differently. You know,
Can I rent your? Can I
rent? You know, she wants to rent your property. She probably has the money. It's psychology. It's all psychology.
Can I rent your Tesla from you?
Sure can. But just know there's some rim rash. Like, Noble. That's what I said. I'm not even going to give his sauce out, but let Noble come on again. I don't know if he's come on already. Let him come on and just talk about government contracts. I don't know how much he's willing to talk about, but his strategy on getting units for arbitrage is insane. I'm not going to give it. I'll let him give it, but
yeah, I'll get him on and give it, because he dropped some cold gems on that.
Yeah,
he dropped cold gems.
All your questions. That's it. That's how I can get a unit with arbitrage. Okay, bet.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely got to get Noble back on. I think he was on like episode 102. So it was a long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah. A long time ago. Yeah.
Well, so you're done with arbitrages, and now you're gonna do the BRRRR model, right?
Yeah.
And so how did the getting a hard money lender thing go? How did that go? What was the going rate for that?
So how do we get a hard money lender? We made connections with our realtor. So people be sleep on their realtors, and people treat realtors like trash, but we love our realtor. She's amazing. That girl has so many connections. I would say it's because she's Jewish, but also she just has a lot of connections. But no, seriously, I don't know. In high school, I noticed my Jewish friends had so many connections. But no, she has so many connections. Our hard money lender is actually her hard money lender. So she's a flipper too. well, she flips mainly. And then also she even like gave us resources for our current project that we're doing. Like the guy doing our cabinets did hers. And she has helped us tremendously. I love her. I love her.
Now, quick question on, because to get before the hard money, how did you find the property?
So Andre went on har.com, HAR, and he was kind of like every day just reloading the page and seeing what was popping up. So every day he just kept loading it. One day he saw this really unique property. So funny story, the one we bought actually wasn't listed yet, but it was an estate sale of 5 properties. So the one we saw, someone actually put in a bid right before we saw it. And I was like, dang it. And they ended up getting the bid and they're actually turning that into Airbnb. But then we put a contract on the duplex that they had, as well as the current property we do have. The duplex fell through because the survey was wrong. It's from like 1938. It was like completely wrong. But the house we have now just happened to be one of the other houses they were selling in it. But were we lucky? No, I don't believe in luck anymore, because had he not been looking every day, he wouldn't have known.
Facts.
But har.com.
That's the truth. I hear people talk about har.com. Explain. Is that just Texas real estate? Oh man, I need to hop on there more often. I've looked at it a couple times when someone sends me a link of a house or something. But
my mom's been using that probably since I was a little girl. Like I remember actively using har when I was little.
So on har, you're allowed to use. It's not like an auction site, is it?
It's just like realtor.com or Zillow, but like on another level. Like it's just more accurate. It's more accurate to the MLS. Zillow be like behind and stuff.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
Okay. Har.com, and they let you use har.
To get in touch with the realtors, because I feel like with Zillow, it's really weird getting in touch with realtors, but with har, it's like so easy. You know who the realtor is. If you are a realtor in Texas, you can see so much information on the house. I don't know if you can on Zillow too, but you can see down to who owns the property, who bought the property from who, the exact tax amounts, documents. Like it's insane.
And what were the terms to the hard money?
So the terms, well, right now we're just paying interest, but what is our interest rate? I think it's 10%. It's a little over 10%. Yeah, it's a little over 10%. But it's so worth it.
10%. How long is your loan? 13 months?
So technically it's 30 years.
So you can, they'll let you stay like that for 30 years.
Yeah, so he had like a lot of different options for us. He's an amazing lender. They're amazing. He actually has a client who has a bunch of properties in Galveston that are only Airbnb, and he gives them money like crazy. And he's amazing too.
Whoa, what's this? Is he taking new clients?
Huh?
He's doing He's doing a 30-year interest only loan with you?
Well, okay. So technically, he knows that we're gonna find it. Like we're gonna refi out of it though in 6 months. Within 6 months.
Oh, he knows you're gonna refi, but he's just giving you that rate. And like that's a connection. That's a plug.
That's a connect. Exactly.
That's a plug.
That's my point. It's all about who you know. Make connections. Don't be scared to make calls.
I have a property I'm about to start the rehab on this week, and I might be giving him a call.
You should, especially if you have the experience and you have the numbers. He's amazing. Great.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got it. Oh, you can drop his information on here. We can do it after the show.
Yeah. Okay. I sure. I'm gonna text you his info. Okay. Yeah, but.
So how many? So you bought it for, what was the price?
$239.
$239. How much do you think you're gonna put into it?
We just calculated this morning, so we have like $90K left to put into it, like 140.
How much did you put into it so far?
53. So far, we've put in like 5,000, 22, 27. We put about, we just actually paid our contractor for this call, so we put about 47K into it.
And you still got 90 more to put into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, we have 140 left to put into it, but it's like from scratch. The house is really old. It's old. It's a complete gut.
Okay. So you're gonna put around 400. I'm sorry. It's gonna be all in at 400, right around there. And then how much will it be worth after you're done with it?
Well, according to this neighborhood and the things we're doing to the house, like for example, like beams, no one else has like open ceilings and beams and stuff. It should be like, I hope 440.
Okay, not
Yeah.
bad.
But we're
Okay.
okay with not walking out with well, we will have equity, but it won't be like exact, and we're okay with that because we know what the Airbnb model will be able to like it just
Yeah.
it just makes sense. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It
What
won't work as
happened?
a split, but it works as a short-term rental.
Yeah. So basically, what you're doing is you're putting money into it. If it appraises at 440, you can recoup it through the Airbnb money. So yeah, that's what I did with one of mine. Just
It makes
recouped it.
sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
So it'll be just a regular refi then to get out of the hard money.
Mm-hmm.
We
And
were
hope
just, it should be our house because that house is nice, but we'll see.
you have 2 houses?
No, currently we live in an apartment, but we probably won't be buying until like next year. We're so tired of apartments though.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you thought about just getting like a luxury apartment and letting all your rentals pay for that?
So technically our rentals do pay for our current apartment. It's technically considered like mid luxury. It's not all the way luxury, but I still love it though. Like it's perfect. It's like within 5 to 10 minutes of every property we have, including the one we're renovating. It's like near all the good restaurants. It's in the same parking lot as our office. So it's amazing.
Yeah, see, that's cool, man. You
Yeah.
ain't got to spend money on gas. Everything's right there. You good.
And the Tesla, they have a charging station here. So it's free. We don't even have to pay for charging. So that's free.
Nice. That saves you a lot.
Put that Tesla charger in your new rental.
I thought about it too. Only thing is we're doing a carport because the neighborhood, no one has garages. It's not popular.
Oh, yeah. I have multiple houses. The one with the carport is the only one I don't have the Tesla charger in.
Yeah.
And then what happened was I'm in a smaller market. I put Tesla chargers at all the other properties, and then those properties took off. And then my one without a Tesla charger, it's been like super slow and lagging behind. I was like, dang, but
damn. Literally. No, yeah. I would say if we probably had a garage, we probably would, but
yeah, if you have a garage, always do it. What were you saying, Steve?
Oh, I was just asking, get back to coaching a little bit. So what do you, I mean, you coach other people. What do you think? And you said help them, grow their business, stuff like that. And what do you think the biggest, what's it called? Mistakes someone can make while they're trying to scale?
Okay, the biggest mistake people make is they do it without telling their landlords. That's like the biggest one, because then they end up with an eviction on their record, then they can't get apartments.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest one. Also, mistakes when scaling, people don't make sure that their systems are in place before moving on. So like if you have 1 or 2 units and you're noticing 5 and 4 star ratings, then you're doing something wrong. You should be getting all 5 stars when you're first starting, because you have all the time to focus on that one unit and it's not hard. So they need to focus on that, because without 5-star ratings, you won't get booked. If you don't get booked, you don't make money. If you don't make money, you can't pay your bills. You can't pay your bills, you get evicted, that whole thing. But yeah, so that's another mistake. Another mistake people make is they don't have a plan. So it sounds so cliche, but like imagine going out to sea and like being a pilot, or like a captain, being a captain and just going out to sea and not having a final destination, versus having a final destination. If you don't have a final destination, you'll die at sea.
Yeah. Got to get to that party cove.
You have to have, you have to have a plan. Party cove too. You have to map it out. You have to know your coordinates. You have to have a plan. Have a formula. Go on my page. Go look at all my formulas.
Oh, you got formulas.
Plug them in, yeah.
Yeah, go over one of your. Is it hard to describe just in thin air? Or?
No, not really. I would say the most popular one that has helped people stay booked is like the DRAPED formula. So it basically stands for like description and title, ratings and reviews, amenities, profile and photos. That is one. Oh, experiences you provide and expenses. I just added that. And then dynamic pricing. Once you have all those things good, which is what we're always focusing on, you'll be fine. You'll be booked easily.
Draped. And that's on your Facebook page.
My Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. And what was your Instagram? At
Coach for the Host.
Coach for F-O-R.
FORTHEHOST.
I'm gonna look at the formulas.
Yeah,
That
draped.
sounds.
I like that one. I like that one.
Someone stole it, so it's being trademarked right now.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Trademark your stuff, especially on
Yeah.
Instagram. People,
Yeah,
man.
she stole it. She's selling it. Her clients coming to me, complaining to me. I'm like, I ain't told her to sell that.
so what's the first D on there?
The description and title.
Description and
So-
title. Because if you don't put a good description and title, then you just got raped.
Well, here's the thing. Well, yeah.
Sorry.
But it's okay. But no, honestly, it's not even just not having a description and title. It's knowing how Airbnb's SEO works. So each one, there's a deeper, like it's deep, but that's like just one of the things that I just figured out, like how to stay at the top of the pages, how to make sure people view it. Like I just figured it out. So just knowing their SEO and how it works and putting locations that are near you, like not gas stations, like grocery stores and fun stuff nearby, and putting that in your description and specific words that are going, like some people will if they're running out of characters for downtown, for example, they'll put DWN, TWN just to fit it. But who spells downtown like that? Nobody. Figure out a way to spell the whole word, like stuff like that. That's important. Because Airbnb, yeah, they use Google ads and stuff like that and Facebook ads to market. So how you have to think about what does Google ads and Facebook ads require? And that's how you build your listing. They're doing the marketing for you. You just gotta, you have to do the marketing too, by creating the listing, but you're paying 3% per booking for them to do the marketing. So why not, Google what makes people click, all that kind of stuff.
So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do any direct bookings at all? Just Airbnb?
I love Airbnb. I know people hate it, but I honestly love it. I feel like as long as there are flaws, but as long as you stay within their guidelines, you won't have any problems. The fees are a lot, but honestly, for the 3% I'm paying per booking, it's worth it for me, for my lifestyle. I don't have the time to market it myself.
Right.
I don't have a team either for that. I have a team, but they do other stuff.
That is true. To really create a direct booking engine where they come into you, it does cost money. It costs money. I've talked to someone who was at like 60 to 80%. They dropped bread on that. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I'm sure it's great, but at the same time, if you think about it too, you're paying the marketing expenses, letting someone else market it. I'm okay with, because the thing is, you're not just getting marketing with Airbnb, you're getting their support, which isn't always that great, but you're also getting just a lot of other things. Like, I don't know, it works for us. Eventually I'm gonna merge off, I want to, but for now it's perfect at the moment.
So how do you deal with Karens?
We don't get them.
Oh, really? At all? You don't ever get it?
Why?
Why?
Let me tell you why. My systems, basically, you have to have at least you have to have all 5-star reviews when you book with us. If you have no reviews, you can't even book with us. B, you have to have been because Airbnb, they have all this on the back end. You have to have been recommended by another host. C, you have to just there's some other requirements, like they have to have their profile photo on their profile photo on file with Airbnb and their ID and a lot of other stuff. And so a lot of times the Karens, they want to bug you. Our people are the people who book our properties. They just book and we never hear from them again. They're super cool. They always give us good 5-star reviews. We make sure that they're, taken care of. We make sure they get everything they need. We did have one Karen, but it's kind of my fault that we had her because she was trying to cancel her booking. And I guess, my message didn't send. So it failed to send, but that was on me because we were leaving a unit. And I think my Wi-Fi was connected to the unit. And so when we're leaving, it's disconnected. So when she was trying to cancel, it didn't work. So she ended up coming to the property instead. And she kind of took it out on a review and gave us 4 stars, which is not bad. I'm not used to the 4 stars. I'm used to only 5. But had I just checked to see if that message sent, she wouldn't have any Karen, but we don't have that problem.
Oh, you had touched on a few good things. You said they have to have 5-star reviews. Now, Do you tell them that in your description?
Airbnb, whenever they try to book, it says, okay, this host requires this, and that. And it's like a system. Airbnb does that for me. I don't even have to.
No, okay. Now, let's say someone tries to request your place and they have like a 4.5 or something. Do you decline them?
It depends. I have to go through and see why. But what we've noticed is those people who have lower star reviews, they're always trying to redeem themselves. So they'd be the best guests. Because what will happen is when they try to book, we say, hey, yeah, we're so excited you're interested in our home and we would love to host you, but we do notice that you do have, a 4-star review. Can you talk about it a little bit? What happened? And they're like, oh, this, and this that happened. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, just letting you know, because that happened, we don't do parties here. We don't do smoking. Please know that I be like, there's HOAs on premises and our neighbors be watching. And usually they're on their A game.
Oh, I like that. So you actually talk to them if they have a bad review and then kind of put the bug in their ear.
Yeah. Like, look, don't try it with me. This is like, don't try it with me because you will get removed easily. I will cancel this with me. Yeah.
Micah, you like hanging 1 stars on people that piss you off?
Oh, I will hang a 1-star real quick. For real. No, for real. Like you honestly, that's another thing. Some people don't be honest with the reviews, and that'd be my thing. I'd be like, bro, just keep it a buck. I mean, you will be scared, but yeah, you do have to sometimes be honest with it. But yeah, I will hang one. But the reason I asked that, the Karen thing, I noticed I get more Karens at my apartment complexes than not my homes. But I offer higher amenities at the homes that Karens usually probably ain't going to pay for, or they're not the clientele for that type of property. But the ones that I do have the type of property that they would attract, I definitely need to tighten up the system on that.
Yeah. I would say, we don't, like, my clients, they'll tell me they're dealing with this problem and that problem. And I'm like, we don't deal with that. But it's because we've been doing this for 3 years. So we just know what we want and what we don't. So it's so easy for us to just, we have truly marketed to the person we want to stay at our property. The person who's staying on our property, they're laid back, they're super cool, most likely they're millennial and they're super cool, or there's someone's grandparents who's coming to see their grandchildren over the weekend. Like, that's our 2 audiences right there. And we know exactly what they want. That's
a good one. See, because some of my properties are millennials, then some of them I purposely cater to be older people. Like, what? It sounds like you don't like that in-between crowd. You either like millennial or you need to be old. What have you been noticing about that in-between crowd that you don't like? That's like Steve's age.
Boomer. I'm boomers.
Little crowd. Like,
let me tell you, the boomers are hard. I'm not gonna lie, they're hard. But the millennials and the Gen X and Gen Z, for the most part, they're our coolest guests. Like, they're super laid back. The older people, they're always so sweet. Oh my gosh, they are so sweet. We'll have conversations with them. And yeah, that in-between crowd, we don't really get. And we don't really,
Yeah, I noticed that in between crowd, man. They always got a bunch of questions, man.
They always,
what's going on?
Let me tell you something else. This is how we ward those people off. Whenever they're asking so many questions, we'll be super vague so that they don't book. Because for us, what we've noticed, no offense to the people who ask a lot of questions, if you ask me more than 1 or 2 questions before your stay or before you book, you're going to be a hard guest automatically. So we be like, oh, unfortunately, we don't have that. I've noticed using the word unfortunately, people never book anywhere in your message. They won't book.
That's a gem right there.
I don't know what it is, but when they see that unfortunately, we just can't do that. They don't book. They go somewhere else.
That's the harshest word there is, because I mean, like, you go to a restaurant. Unfortunately, that we can't. It's gonna be
you know some bad news is coming.
Yeah, unfortunately. I like that.
Yeah.
Like it where they don't want to book.
Little things that I really do feel like, I am a little spiritual. I feel like God just helped me, like, he's kind of just downloaded information into my head that I don't know. I know how to respond to guests. I know how to make sure they're good.
Stay away from Karens.
I know.
That's an interesting one, because I've even heard people who, like, I don't know, on the Facebook groups, like one dude, he said if they don't have a 5-star review, if they don't have 5-star, he allows them to stay, but he charges them like a $200 deposit. I was like, how do you do that? Like, people have all these crazy, I don't know. I think he sends it through the resolution center, like, hey, you don't have 5-star reviews. You have to pay $200 to stay here, and then after you check out, we'll refund it.
Interesting.
I'd never heard of that. I was like,
Mm-mm.
are you even allowed to do that? But hey, I don't know,
We strict. We strict over here. If you don't got 5-star reviews, I might accept you, I might not. Oh, and we also, I should have mentioned that too. I think one of the biggest things, they're all big, but one of the biggest things too is we make sure we know why they're coming into town before they even book.
Mm-hmm.
That helps.
Huge.
Yeah. Like we really only begin like young couples or old couples. That's it. It's amazing. That's why I like the business. Once you learn how to market correctly to the people you want to market to, you'll be just fine. It's a breeze. It's a breeze for us, honestly.
So how have y'all solved the cleaning conundrum?
Well, is it luck? My mom is our cleaner.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
we do have to clean though. Like we had to clean today because she has a job that she works at on Wednesdays, but she actually cleans for my clients too. And nobody clean like a mama. That's all I always tell people. Like mama's clean and she really does care about our properties. Like my mom, for one of my clients, I think her sink was falling off and my mom's like, yeah, like what should I do? Like just tell her property manager. And yeah, the next day, I think that like the sink ended up flooding the place. But my mom truly does care about the reviews and the properties because she wants to make sure that the guests aren't judging her cleaning. So she's amazing.
Now, being that it's just her, what happens when, I mean, you have 9 units. What happens if there's 3 or 4 or 5 checkouts the same day? Do y'all block the calendar for her, or what do y'all? She handles all of them.
Yeah, so she'll solicit the help from my little sister and my older cousin, and they all just tackle them. My mom, they really okay, but you have to have the linens ready. So we make sure to have the linens ready, and they knock the units out within like an hour to an hour and a half, sometimes less. Because our guests are good. They keep the places clean. We don't do it like we have the best guests. They always try to clean before they leave. We have a great checkout checklist that helps my mom. And it's mandatory to our guests, but it's not hard. We have the best guests, y'all. I don't think y'all get it. Like we have the best guests. Like for real.
We only let 5-star people in. Come on.
Yeah.
One thing you just said, and because I was interviewing, because I was, me and my partner, we were considering starting a cleaning company because, like Steve said, you have the cleaning conundrum. So I just interviewed my cleaner down in Houston, and I just straight up asked her, like, "Hey, how did you start this?" And she said the exact same thing as you. She started off as a family business and then expanded it that way. So then, if it's a family, everybody cares about the property. That's actually a really important thing right there. So I was like, "Dang, I need to figure out how I can implement that here in Dallas."
For real, I think people sleep on their families because online you always hear people say don't mix family and business, but you have to know when to mix it and when it's okay. I feel like for us, you just have to set boundaries. So for example, my mom knows that, and if she's listening, she knows this, but my mom knows that payday is only Friday. Like we cannot pay you early and for any reason at all. Like it's Friday, please don't ask early. Same for my actual VAs and stuff like that. Payday is Friday. That's a boundary, first off. Another boundary is if you feel like a clean was extra or a little harder, let us know up front. Don't get mad about it, because a lot of people, they'll get mad like, that these people cleans are hard. But just be upfront about it. Maybe once a month we'll have like an extra little clean, but it's not too bad. Or like we just set boundaries.
See, because one thing I'm working on this year is on my goal list. I got to be a better communicator and communicate stuff like that with like your teams and things like that. That's huge. Like knowing what their frustration and pain points are.
Oh my gosh, I've learned a lot. Like even we have an intern right now, and she's kind of our co-host. She does like a lot for us for the Airbnbs. And I would say her and having a personal assistant has taught me a lot about delegating and, communication and how to be upfront with people about stuff. It has taught me a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely hopping into my communication books this year.
Yeah.
Starting off,
right?
Starting off with never split the difference. So definitely,
that's a good one.
It is okay. A lot of people told me like, read that one that's a good one on
it's
communication.
Like a thrill. Like it's action. It's like adventurous.
Okay.
So give us some Kierra Airbnb hacks. Touches that you do at your place, something you do different than other people. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When I first started Airbnb 3 years ago, I used to write notes for everyone because I wanted them to know like I really care about you, like handwritten notes, and put it in my little welcome basket with like the snacks and stuff. Because in the welcome basket, I would have like water, or I still do water, razors, chips, fruit bars, and snacks. It's not expensive, right? And then when I moved to Houston, we scaled up kind of fairly quickly. And like I think we got like 9 units in a couple of months. And I stopped. We kept on with the snacks, but I stopped with the notes. I noticed our reviews went down. So now I was scared about outsourcing to my intern to do the notes because I don't have the time to, and she doesn't write like me. But I'm like, these people don't know how I write. So she does all of our notes, and we make sure that every single person has a note. And I promise you, it literally yields us 5 stars. People love the note. They always talk about it. The snack basket is nice too. At the bottom of the note, we say, P.S. enjoy your complimentary snacks. And I think that, we put a little smiley face, and they love that. They love it. They love it. They love the note. To be honest with you, or like, okay, an example, I would say we had like 2 guests who were kind of annoying before they came. And usually it's international guests, I noticed that. But yeah, so they were being a little hard before they came. And we thought they were going to get the worst review. No, they were like, we really like the note. We really appreciated that. We've never gotten that. 5 stars from both.
I'm gonna tell y'all now. You touched on something. Smiley faces on pieces of paper always make sales. I don't know what it is.
Really?
I'm gonna drop a gem to you. My partner, we're in the same mentorship program.
Is that what it is?
He was trying to get wholesale deals, right? Mm-hmm. And instead of telling like the sellers what he was doing, he just wrote their name on a piece of paper and put a smiley face on it. He made $100,000 in 3 months.
Interesting.
Just by simply saying, if you say someone's name on a piece of paper and write a smiley face, it never fails.
And that's what we do, because we say, dear this person. Yeah. P.S. enjoy your complimentary snacks. Person.
Shout out to my guy JR. When he put me on that, I was like, what? It was a game changer for him.
A smiley face.
A simple smiley face.
So on the card, I can put dear so and so. Don't break shit. Smiley face.
Yeah, no, the crazy part is they'll probably be like, he's really cool.
Yeah, because that's comedic. They probably laugh at that.
It's comedic. Exactly.
And take it easy on the bed frame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, writing that kind of stuff. People love that.
Because sometimes I think we forget we're in business and forget the other person. They're a human too. Basically is what it is. They're human.
I love our guests. They're so amazing. There's so many just little things I feel like God just taught me or just told me to do, and I've been doing it. I love it.
You're like the total opposite of all the Facebook Airbnb forums out there, right? Because everybody, I hate these guests. I hate Airbnb. This sucks. I mean, you love everything about it.
I love everything about it. Everything.
And you know what I noticed too? When you get to that point where the guest is getting annoying and all that, it's sometimes good to take a step back. And that's why I love how you said you have assistants, you have people you can delegate to, because you got to take a step back sometimes. You got to take a step back.
I wouldn't be able to be doing everything I'm doing if I had to run the Airbnb business, honestly. Because can I be honest, we still do our laundry for our Airbnbs, but we're okay with that.
You found a part of the business that doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot because we joke that our washer and dryer is always going, but in our apartment complex, it's a split bill. So yeah, nice. We don't pay a lot in water. It's the same every month. It's like $30, but
can't beat that.
No.
Or a dude's by himself in an apartment. He's like, how come my damn water bill is so high?
Yeah. But honestly, I would say that's like my top secret is like that welcome note. And then just making sure you're friendly with them. Like as soon as they message you, if you hear that Airbnb app go off at 3 a.m, if you're up a little bit, just be like, absolutely. It doesn't take long to text back, hey, okay, thank you. Like it's not hard. And they don't message you a lot either. You don't get a lot of messages on Airbnb.
That's a fact. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When I first started, I used to get messages like 2, 3 in the morning. I used to answer them. Shout out to Federico. I got a VA now because I had to now I have to put my phone on do not disturb at night because I'm like, man,
Yeah.
but yeah, Federico even handling it. So
we do let our guests know that from in specific hours, you just won't get a response from us. So they know that they won't get a response in certain hours. So I'm still able to sleep with do not disturb mode on. But they also know to call twice. Like if you're locked out or something, you can call twice. But our intern also, they can text us or our intern. So, and our intern, she's amazing. One night, I think she was already out. Someone got locked out at 2 a.m. and she called us like, hey, I can't get the door open. It's like, girl, you what? You're at the property? I love my intern. Yeah, she's so amazing. She's so amazing. How did they end up getting in? I don't even know, but
I need an intern, man.
She's amazing.
So how do you find a good intern?
You know what's funny? She found me on YouTube.
Oh,
She reached out to me. Yeah, she reached out to me. I was like, I'm taking a risk. I'm in wholesaling, but I don't want to go to college. I just finished high school, but I'm taking a risk. I've never, done this before. I was wondering if I could be your intern and learn from you. I'm like, girl, yeah. She was like, I'll do it for free. I was like, I won't let you do it for free, but she's amazing.
See, those are the type of people you want to hire, man. Like those go-getters, that right there.
Yeah.
It's a go-getter. I like that.
Can I be honest with you too? She is the hardest working person I know, but not only that, she is the most goal-driven person I have ever met in my life.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the type of people you want on your team right there.
She's amazing.
Future millionaire.
I know. I told her don't leave me too soon. But she's trying to see for her first Airbnb because the point of this internship was to teach her how to host. So I'm gonna be sad when she leaves, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, what biggest money that Airbnbers leave on the table?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, people actually leave us tips. Cash. We got a $40 tip the other day.
Oh, you mean literally they lift money on the table? That's cool. I like that. Leave the money on the leave it on the nightstand.
Black basket, yeah. You meant. Sorry.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Literally leaving money on the table.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant literally. You meant basically money that people could be making, but they're not.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah. We are so simple that we realize that when we try to do extra stuff in the Houston market, people don't take to it. Yeah. In Virginia, we did, and we had successes with it, but not in the Houston market. People could care less. So I don't think people are leaving. Do I? I don't. The only way you'd be leaving money on the table is if you're not using Price Labs.
I have a question for y'all. Speaking of leaving money on the table, somebody does this, and I was like, one of my partners, he does this. I was like, I don't know about that. He charges them he's one of those people that how would you use the word? He nickels and dimes people, right? If a guest wants to come check in early, and I don't know if some people do this. I don't really like nickel and diming people. He'll be like, yeah, you can check in early. It'll be $75. Some people pay it, but I'm like, I just don't. And I don't know what his reviews are like with him doing that. Yeah. But he nickels and dimes for everything. If they need something, we'll deliver it, but he'll add on a little extra charge for it, which I don't know. Is that leaving money on the table? Or is that too much?
That's taking money off the table.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it depends because if I have a super sweet guest and they've been really nice to me, messaging me before they got to the property and they wanted to check in 2 hours early and it just happens to be clean early, I'll let them know hey, it's clean early. That gives you a better review. But I think you have to think about it like this. Unfortunately, although Airbnb is great, you do have to rely on your reviews. And I feel like it's not, the reviews are kind of, they're, I don't know, it's like a reward system. I feel like it's like a sticker system in a way. And it feels very elementary because there's no accountability for the guests or the hosts. So you kind of have to always think about the reviews. Now, if I had my own business, I would nickel and dime every single thing. because I don't care what you put on the Google reviews. Some businesses, like some people don't care about the Google reviews, but in this business, you don't have Google reviews, you have Airbnb reviews, and you have to figure out how they work. But I don't know. I mean, if someone leaves something, we already tell them, like, don't have stuff shipped and don't leave stuff because it's going to the trash. But if someone is like super nice, we'll let them know, we'll ship it back to you, but it's going to be extra $20 to ship it because like we have a team and people got to get paid. We won't tell them all that, but they're usually fine with the extra fee.
Speaking of that, you bring up that is where we sometimes leave money on the table. This may sound a little bad, but okay. So the other day I had to actually go to one of my units because some beds broke and I had to deliver the beds over there. And the place was just a horrible mess, right? So I was like, dang it, okay. So I told my cleaner, hey, I got to get this stuff repaired, so don't worry about cleaning. Mm-hmm. But when I went in there, man, these people left all types of stuff in there, like valuable stuff. Like they left a brand new iPhone in the box. I don't know what they were doing up in there, but hey, like, so I'm looking like, thanks. But what I think was like, yo, does the cleaners get this stuff all the time and not tell, I was like,
I think so. Because I'm not gonna lie, someone left an Apple charger and I asked him if he wanted it back and he never responded. So I kept it. So now I have 2 Apple chargers and they expensive. They be like $79.
And Michael's got 2 iPhones.
Yeah.
I'm for real. Like I just be noticing, I'm like, well, dang, do they leave this stuff all the time? But I've heard like even my cleaners in Arkansas, they're like, yeah, man, they left the whole laptop over here. I'm like, I'll reach back out. They won't say nothing. I'm like, you take it or put it in the supply closet. I got, so, but
we just throw it away.
It's funny because talking to people, because South Padre Island is a place we love to go. That's like a place that since I was young. But I talk to people over there and people that have been hosting there before and stuff like that, and have condos, and I say, what happens? Because I know a lot of people, especially they go to a vacation. They're gonna go fill up the fridge with all kinds of alcohol and all this stuff and food maybe for the week, right? They're not going to take that with them on an airplane. So it's like, what happens to all that stuff? He goes, well, they consider it, that's a tip for the cleaners. The cleaners get to keep all that. And over there, you imagine like on Party Island, they're going to come back home with their family probably never got to buy beer, right? Because they're coming back to the car with cases and stuff, man. So he just considers that, no, that's just, whatever the cleaners find, they can keep. That's their tip.
I might start a cleaning company. Yeah, man.
To be honest. Well, to be honest with you, sorry, my husband is walking. But to be honest with you too, we actually tell our guests that like they have to clean out the fridge before they leave. Like they have to empty it.
Okay. Now, how does that? Do you get any rebuttal for that?
Oh no, because our list is like 5 things long, but it's like the most important stuff. And they're so cool with doing it. Like, please leave the towels in the hamper. Why? So that when our cleaner gets there, if she has to wash, if she does, everything's in one spot. Make sure to leave the key here. Clean out the fridge, turn off the AC. It's like tangible stuff. Clean out, like wash your dishes. And usually they do it. When they don't, they always feel bad. And a couple of people will offer like a little extra money for the cleaning fee, although we charge a lot already, just because they didn't do it, because they know, like they're told before they book, during their stay, and then after they're booking about the check-in list, the mandatory checkout checklist.
Okay. Because I remember remember me and Steve had a conversation about asking them to take out the trash. And I've been doing it. I've been doing it, and I haven't had really much of a rebuttal, but I have been targeting longer term stays. So they, of course, if they're
gonna take it out anyways. Yeah. So we tell them when the trash day is, because we don't know how long people are booking. We do also tell them to close their trash bags too. But that's because I'm weird and I don't like seeing people's trash and smelling it. Like, please close your trash bag. Like, tie it up. We'll throw it away for you, but just tie it up, please.
Yeah.
That's like one of my like pet peeves is seeing other people's trash. Like when I go to people's houses, I hate throwing stuff away. I don't like smelling other people's trash because it always smells disgusting.
So I have a question for you. In 2022, those who are looking to either start their business or expand their business, what is one piece of advice that you would give them for success?
Find someone who you resonate with, and either do what my intern did and see if you can intern for them. I don't care how old you are, what kind of business you have, you're never too old to learn or too young to learn. But like get under someone's wing, because there is someone who has been through exactly what you want to go through, and they will show you the way. You don't want the stresses. And it speeds up the process. Oh my gosh. Like, I know y'all can speak on it. How many coaches y'all have had that has helped you speed up the process of whatever you're doing?
Facts. I made my biggest investment last year, man. It's just, I made my biggest investment in coaching last year, man. It really paid off.
It pays off. It does. I've made some big investments in coaching too, and they all have paid off. It hurts in the beginning, like you better work, but you always, even if you pay a lot of money, because I've been through this too, even if you pay a lot of money and the investment doesn't go the way you wanted it to, you've learned how not to do business, how not to conduct business. And that's so important too.
Nice.
It's so important. And then I know people say like success doesn't happen overnight, but honestly, if you have a good coach, it can happen pretty quickly.
That is a fact.
Because it happened for me. So, and I had good coach.
That is a fact.
This kind of relates, and we're gonna have her on the show. We're gonna have an accountant who's STR, short-term rental Airbnb accountant. That's her niche, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. And so, anyways, I did a Zoom call with me and my partner Federico in our Airbnb business, and we did the prices, and the prices weren't too bad. The regular one was like 500, the middle one's 1,000 a month, the other one's 2,000. That she does like a kind of like your CFO. But anyways, talking to Federico, my partner, he's like, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money to be spending, this and that. I was like, she's gonna do all the books. We don't have to do that. That's and he's like, well, but then what if we do this and set up the system and this. I'm like, she went to school for this shit. she's gonna do it way better than us, man. Why not give her $500? That's like a profit on 1 month of one management fee, or half of whatever. I'm like, it's just we gotta learn. I don't know any rich or successful person who does their own books, right? They all have a badass accountant, right? I can't name one. They all have.
What's crazy? Me too. Well, I have a degree in accounting. I could easily do my own taxes. I freaking love it. I really could, but I think it was better for me to outsource my bookkeeping and my accounting, because it didn't make sense for me to do. It's a lot. It takes time. And they know the stuff sometimes, like they be updated on the stuff that we're not. Like the tax code. Like the tax code is like candy when you understand it.
It really is. It really
is. Sweet. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, I need a bookkeeper. I got an accountant. I need a bookkeeper.
I have one. And yep, he does it for us. So he does it for our Turo business, my coaching business, and like the Airbnbs. And he used to work for QuickBooks Accounting and Finance. He's amazing. And he's in the Philippines. And he cleaned up my books, and I probably paid him 100 times less than literally 100 times less than what I would have paid someone.
Oh yeah, you got to send that information.
He's amazing.
Yeah, send us that info.
Being an accountant, I knew what to look for, and some of the things that were on there, I'm like, okay, you actually know what you're doing. Like, I know these terms, you're doing the right stuff. He's amazing. I'll send you his info.
Yeah, send that to me on IG. I need that.
I will.
I need that.
Send that to me.
Linter and that guy, the bookkeeper. Okay, for sure.
You got a team. A whole team.
That's another piece of advice I would give, though. Get you a VA. Go on OnlineJobs.ph. You can find a VA. You can practice with someone $3 an hour. Find someone who responds quickly. Because as soon as you put out an ad on OnlineJobs.ph, you'll get hundreds of responses in minutes. Talk to people who respond to every single person, and see who responds to you the quickest after 3 or 4 times. Hire that person and learn how to delegate. If you can learn how to delegate in the beginning and look at the other person and say, okay, how can you make me money? It'll help you just grow your business.
That's the level. Yeah, me and my partner at. He just to him, he just sees it like, man, we're letting go of money. No, we're investing in people. That's gonna bring us more money.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. Yeah, man, this has been a great episode. You've dropped some serious knowledge on us and for our fans, and we're glad that we hit the record button this time, right, Micah? We hit the
I know
record.
this was might have been better than
Yeah.
the last one. No, this is good.
Oh man, so where can folks find you again?
Follow me on Instagram at Coach for the Host, CoachForTheHost. I'm there all the time. You're really not gonna find me anywhere else. You might find me on YouTube, maybe in a couple of months, probably not. But Instagram is where I'm at all the time. And my
Nice.
Facebook group, if you purchase my courses or I'm your coach.
Ah,
Right there.
what's your Facebook group?
Well, they're private access.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
when okay, yeah, find her on IG and then join her groups. There you go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I promise you this is gonna be one of the highest viewed videos. It's gonna be a viewed video. It's gonna be a good one, okay?
Let's do it. Let's drop it. Let's make sure.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you for hopping on, Micah. It's been great getting together with you and interviewing someone so awesome, so badass. And yeah, you're welcome back anytime.
First episode of 2022. Let's go.
Really?
Yeah. it's our
Oh,
first one.
thank you. I love that. Starting off the year with a bang.
There we go. There we go. But yeah, thank you for coming on again, Kierra. It's been an awesome pleasure interviewing you. And this time we pushed the record button. So we will be up live next Wednesday, 12 noon.
Okay. I'll be watching.
All right. Bye.
Later.
All right. That was another great episode with Kierra Castleberry. I think that's our third or fourth time. I forgot to push the record button. That's my fault. But yeah, that was a really great episode. I definitely need to start outsourcing some things myself. So yeah, I got all the systems in place, but I just need somebody to take over the system. So yeah, definitely. That was a good episode.
SOPs.
Standard
We
operating procedures.
we interviewed a Filipino girl last night actually.
Mhm.
And she started dropping that SOP saying, oh yeah, I'll just follow your SOPs and I can do this. And I was like, wow, she dropped that term. And I was like, I like that. And I finally convinced Fed. I was like, okay, you're going crazy with this. You're trying to do everything. Now you don't work for American anymore. So you can focus on this. That's great, but you still don't want to work 24 hours a day on this, right? It's getting so big. And so I could let's get a VA that kicks some ass, and I don't know. I'm finally convincing him to do so. So we're gonna bring on board some really talented people. We might have to pay a couple bucks more, but it's worth it, right?
Worth it. You get your time back, man.
Time is more important than anything, right?
Facts. I gotta
And
go ahead and give me another VA for my other units. Because Fetty's taking care of the other ones. You're right.
yeah.
I'm
So,
definitely
man.
doing that.
Yeah, learn the year of the outsource 2022.
The year of the outsource, and we're getting our first multifamily.
Yeah. What did they say?
I'm dropping the offer tomorrow morning. I don't think dude's got no offers, man. I guess I don't know. I guess we can talk about it on the show real quick. But yeah, the dude, I don't think he has no offers. So basically, me and Steve, this dude, I think the last episode, Steve said, hey, I want to buy an apartment complex. And I was like, after the show, I texted him like, hey, man, you serious? Because I get apartment complexes all the time. It's just I pass them up because I'm doing the BRRRRs. But I was like, if I'm partnered, I can do the BRRRRs and the apartment complex. So we ended up finding one, like an 11-unit deal. He's asking for about $500,000, but I ran Brandon's numbers on it. Because Brandon basically says if you buy a multifamily, it has to fit the 50% rule, meaning after you, everything that comes in, you take 50% of that, and that should be able to pay the mortgage. That it wasn't fitting those numbers. So then we're going to put a different offer in of 275. And I think I don't know if he's going to bite because we're going damn near half of what he wants, but we're going to see. But it's a smaller town. They are they're charging like $200 less than the average rent on each of the units. And I only seen one person was moving out this year in August. So, but if we get it at 275, man, we bank it. So,
man. Yeah. That would be great. That'd be a good starter. We'd learn a lot from that one, I'm sure.
Yeah, we might have to call that one the LLT apartment or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the LLT shack. Yeah, man.
Shack. For sure, man. But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated in the loop on that one if it goes through.
Cool, man. Big things this year.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. And thank y'all for continuing to listen. And send us an email, livethatthrive@gmail.com, and follow us on IG. We are always live on there, and not live, but always on there, active. So, yeah, thank y'all for continuing to listen.
LLT.
We are out.
Later.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.